What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys had a absolutely incredible, fantastic evening. Hopefully, you didn't get bull trapped from the rally Wednesday to the massive, horrible looking day we had yesterday. Unless you were a bear, then you were outside in the rain just dancing. Give me 1 second to pop a few of these emails to somebody. So we get some people set up with that. We had the funded account meeting last night, a webinar that we did. If anybody's interested, just you guys could shoot me an email at dan@reallifetrading. I don't know if the recording is out yet, but as soon as it does, if you shoot me an email there, I will get that to you. But such a incredible program as far as being able to fund people with $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 to trade the markets with. You guys keep 75% of profits. Just the amount of intense, crazy, life-changing things that you guys are able to do is crazy. Chris has that recording ready? Where was that emailed out, or is that just in your dashboard, just so I could direct people there and I can find it? It's in the dashboard. Beautiful. All right. So I'll be able to get a copy of that for anybody that needs it. But so crazy. Yeah. Why risk your own money in the market? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you think about it like this too, like if you have, if your R is $500, right? To get access to the funded account is $500. So technically you could trade, you could pretty much trade a free account on 1R, get qualified, be trading real money in the market, and at the end of the day, all you're really risking is 1R. Same thing if your R is $1,000 or 2,000, like you're like, it's nuts. But either way, so I was just helping some people get, the response to it was pretty much overwhelming. So I was getting a couple emails out, getting people set up this morning. But the market itself, what's up, Jenny? Jenny's in the house. So we were down slightly when I looked early in the morning. We just kind of did a bunch of nothing. So hanging out, we started to try to attempt to grind higher. And then of course we get, actually the CPI numbers took us higher. So this is the CPI numbers. So the CPI numbers actually beat. So that gave us a little bit of a pop. Everything that pops up in this market does sell. That is the trend. Again, I don't know that this is the right time to continue to buy things. And I don't think chasing the market theory and concept was strong like bull last year, to say the least. The last few months, chasing has not worked. So just do not chase. Do not chase. Try to buy when things are low, sell when things are high. You do see one big reversal after another where the market just moves insanely in one direction or another. And don't chase. If you got FOMO, turn the computer off. It's summertime or close to it. Hit the beach, do some things. As far as targets go for the SPY today, again, the way we took out all of the Jerome Powell movement, not good at all. To the upside, now we have a lot of resistance to the upside. The first spot is 411.35. Let's see, is that roughly where we hit? All right, so we did break that at the CPI numbers. That's already faded. That's going to be the first resistance for me to the upper side of things, 411.23. If we could break that, 414.24. That's roughly where we got on that peak. And looking at 415.37, 417.46. If this day somehow turns into an incredibly bullish day, I think the max we hit is 417.14. That would be my range where we start getting into a little bit of more intense resistance on the hourly chart. Let me actually pull this up real quick. I'll do a screen share. George says go fishing. That's good for the fishermen, bad for the fish. Bad for the fish. All right, let me see. So where we're opening is this little dotted line. That's my pre-market. As you guys can see, this came down. Like right now, we're still at the retest. This is a bullish engulfing candle on that first pivot. This is a good spot for retest. The only thing I really don't like about where it happened now is you also had that bullish engulfing candle. This again is on the hourly chart. Bullish engulfing candle yesterday. So toward the very end, I think the last 10 minutes maybe of the market decided to have some bulls. Anybody that did buy in those 10 minutes or 15 minutes at the end of the day, they are trapped. So we actually are trapping some more. So I would actually almost consider this, at least on an hourly chart, as a little bit of a gap and go, at least on the hourly. It's a double bottom, Matt. Yeah, for sure. And usually when I'm looking, so when I see this in the market and I see some type of bullish engulfing candle, you also have a little bit of a bearish trap down there. I don't know if you guys can see that little wick or not. But usually I'm looking for this spot where we are opening right now in the market as my retest. Right. So I don't, like I said, don't chase. This is normally the spot. The one thing that questions, is this the best spot to buy at this point? So I'm kind of on the fence because that's where I would look for. Some traders look for the top of the wick. That makes sense. I mean, there's times I get skipped, but there's a lot of times I'll get really, really nice fills because I'm retesting that candle, not retesting this candle. Right. So just leaving an order out there, it's not a bad, like this is the spot where I would be normally interested to buy. However, we are gapping down. It was a bearish day. It's also a retest day. Like if we, all in all, this is a big retest day. So I would expect maybe a little pop, but that is a gap and go on the hourly. So just be aware of that. We're kind of in no man's land right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. Spot to buy calls. Let's check out the Qs first, Juan. Let's check out the Qs first. Let's figure out what we could do. Actually, we'll just type up the Qs here. I don't know how comfortable I am buying buying the calls yet. This would be the spot because the calls, the premium is going to be low. Again, for today, I would need something like if you're buying calls that expire today, I'll send you my Venmo account name. If you just want to just Venmo me over that money, that's fine. Get you away from the computer quicker and definitely spend some time fishing. And I think that works out for everybody. It just at this level, we sold a lot yesterday. There's a lot of fear. Matt talked about it yesterday in his he was on 3:30 p.m. But once, like, there's a lot of people. We right here, we're looking at the markets every single day. We know what some of these candles mean. We know what sentiment is. We're pretty much, we understand what's happening to the market, right? I'll say that loosely because the market is wild either way. But we are at least in tune with the market. With people that are just investing or they just look at their retirement accounts, they have 401ks. That typically means that they have some kind of a job. They're more focused. They're putting their time, energy, and effort into their career and not as much into the market, which is perfectly fine. It makes sense. But when they get home or they get wind that the market drops SPY, I think, was down, what, 4.5% yesterday? Something like that at one point. When they see that, the headlines come in, they know nothing else but to sell, right? They get the panic, they get the fear, the market comes down, and they sell. So we could definitely have some continued selling just from some of those guys. And I think we will get a decent buy opportunity. I just don't know if I want to take calls at the open. So right now on the Qs, we are, again, gapping down from the close. We're not quite as bad on the Qs because we're still in yesterday's range. The SPY itself was gapping a little bit below it. So we'll see what ends up happening. But it's not, I don't have a definitive, like, this is the definite spot. The Qs, I would say this should have been the retest right here. And we already dipped lower than that retest. The SPY is gapping down, but it's into that little retest where at least I like to buy it, but it still looks relatively weak. I mean, not to shade it over. It still looks, everything still kind of looks weak. That being said, we're at an interesting spot. I would need to see a little bit more. Delta gapping down. This would be a retest gap. You do, again, have a bullish engulfing candle. That one is coming down and breaking as well. We are also breaking that previous pivot on Delta. So Delta looks a little bit to the weaker side for sure. We will have access to trade this for the 10 EMA strategy. And this one's not bad today. So a lot of times I get on, I'm like, yeah, I don't like Delta. It's just because it was kind of in this chop zone. I would think if we could get some kind of a retest, I'm going to set an alarm, but retest into about 41.72-ish, maybe slightly higher, but that's where I'll definitely start looking. I would like it for a short on Delta today. We do have a lot of room to the downside. The next real VPOC doesn't really come in until $40.99. And somewhere in that zone will be my target, but we have nothing else going on. There's no volume at that certain point. Any institutions or anybody that was trying to save it, they are either closing their positions or going to now try to realistically protect the next spot. The first little bit of a volume came in around that 40.90 zone. And we'd be looking for, I mean, that's the next cluster that we really have. So could also get back to about 39.89, 81. I'll probably be out before then for sure. But if we could set a really nice trade, decent risk, just decent reward, we could at least hit, I'd be looking for 2 or 3 R's into that point if we could get that. I know for the 10 EMA, we're going for a 1.2, 1.4. So as long as I'm out by that point, that's where I think we get some kind of consolidation. But Delta looks rough right now. It looks rough. And I would want some kind of green candle at first. Maybe we could take a break. But that's how I'd be playing that one. Tesla looks like it might want to stay up. Is the Fed speaking today? I don't think the Fed is speaking today. No, I think they're trying to stay away from the microphone as much as possible. Let's look at Tesla. I mean, everything is, so things are gapping down a little bit, but we're not like having a 3% gap down day. James in YouTube land is asking, is that a daily or hourly chart? This is a hourly chart. This is an hourly chart. So here's the levels that I'm looking for. Tesla out of the gate might chop around a little bit. So we do have this one VPOC here. It is pretty much hanging out. The one thing I would be concerned with, this is my 10 EMA, is this blue line. We also have that VPOC right there, somewhere around that 881.72 zone. So that could be my chop zone for a little bit. If we break that zone, the next thing I'm watching for is, can we also break that 10 EMA? So if that 10 EMA starts coming down a little bit, there is Fed speaking today, but just not Jay Powell. The other hawkish members of the Fed. I feel like every member of the Fed is hawkish right now. Even the dovish ones they've changed. So we'll see. But that's the zone. If we do start breaking this roughly 873, this is a target I was calling out for a while. We still have this untested VPOC down here all the way at 839. We could get there if things do start selling off today. This is now my next target to the downside. So about 840. That still gives us about $30 down. But we're still holding that VPOC right there. And we still have, it's not quite tweezers on the hourly, but you do have a bullish engulfing candle. So far, out of all the stocks I've seen so far, Tesla is attempting to try to hold up a little bit. So again, I think we get a little bit of a chop here. We have that 10 EMA, and that VPOC that are going to come in act as a little bit of resistance. If we could break that to the upside, we probably have that 900, nice whole $900 number. So could go either way. I have to watch the open. I don't think, I mean, this one's not going to qualify for 10 EMA, so we do have some time to wait and see. We'll check out Roblox. Yep. Roblox. I don't know where Roblox goes. We're below that VPOC. It looks incredibly weak. If I was to pick a direction, I would say follow the trend. It's a lot easier to follow the trend than to try to stop the train. And I would figure out where I could get in to go short. If you must trade Roblox, I'll probably stay away from Roblox today. I don't really see too much of an advantage. We looked at Tesla already. Nvidia and some of the chips again. So here's the VPOC yesterday on this one. Right now on the hourly chart, we are below the 10 EMA. Christian says, is it going to be a down day? That's the $1 million question, Christian. $1 million question. We sold a lot really quick. Right now, I think the market can go either way. I know that's, again, not something that somebody wants to hear. I'm going to just follow the trends today. And if we do start breaking down some of those key points, so if we like on the SPY, for instance, if we start breaking down that spot that I was talking about, yeah, I'm going to be looking definitely more bearish. That's going to be the easiest path to least resistance. So we had an hourly candle push right into that VPOC. That is a very strong area. We have another VPOC that pretty much forms right at the same location roughly. And that is gapping down. So I think Nvidia does head down lower. I don't really see why we're even breaking below that one. Let's try to get some targets on Nvidia. Let's see. We did have a nice ABC. That one's no more. We actually broke down that little neckline, attempted to retest into it, and nothing. Looks like so far we're failing. We're still in the range a little bit, but we're on the delta side of that little cluster. We have some room on Nvidia to the downside. Starting to get into a little bit from over here. We have some things that might save us in this area. The key number I would be looking for is if we could break down that 184. So even if you want to hop in short, you still have 185.40, 184.57. If that breaks, that takes us about $4 down. So that's the key number. I'm really looking for some kind of a break. Let's see. That's going to be the last attempted save for the bulls. So I'll throw a little alert there, but we have a little bit of cluster. Does not look very strong right now, though. Right now, that's the longest I've ever spent on TradingView. I never did the full morning analysis just on TradingView. Usually I go back to the charts that people can't see. So you guys are welcome is what I'm trying to say. You guys are welcome. What could I say, but you're welcome. AMD on an hourly looks like we based a little bit. This could be some type of cup and handle for all my cup and handle traders. Again, AMD is kind of hanging out there a little bit to the downside. As soon as we start breaking this 93.14, then we have plenty of room down to at least 90.68. Otherwise, I'd be looking for some kind of fill. 89.84 untested VPOC. The last one that I see is this one, which is 86.87. So that's going to be the key number. So again, we do have some room to the downside. I could see a little cup and handle. We're at an interesting spot, but we are below the 10 EMA as well. And we'll see how that wants to play out. Again, company had good earnings. They had good everything, but how many times have we seen specifically AMD? For the long term, I think AMD is going to be all right. The short term, just be cautious on everything. Find some stocks, find some companies that you like, that you think are going to be around. Buy a couple shares. Don't back that truck up. Apple. Again, Apple, we got a little bit of a safety net on Apple, just a little bit. We are well below that cluster, and I don't see why. Ultimately, I don't see why we can't come back to retest this 150.66 with one other bounce spot around 153.11. So to me, it's hanging on, but right now, still a little bit on the weak side. This one will not qualify at open. For the 10 EMA strategy official trades. And again, here's the SPY. So SPY, the fact that we're gapping there is negative. We're still holding that area that should be some type of retest. But yeah, nothing too crazy right now. If you guys want to type in your stocks, anything that you guys want to look at, we still have 9 more minutes to roll. Marcus says, I see your kids got you too with Moana. Yeah, Moana's a good movie. I don't care who you are. That's a good movie right there. You guys haven't seen Moana. Like, have you even lived life? We got Baba for Steven Jackson. Yep, this thing looks all types of weak. So again, on this one, it is a retest gap. Watch the level around 93.67-ish. That would be the level of hitting this. If we do get a break, probably be looking for about 94.60. But those are 2 areas I'd be interested in shorting. I wouldn't short this right out of the gate as it is a retest. If it comes in for a full-on retest, 94.67 is the best location, I would say, for that incoming short. But this thing looks all types of weak. Getting down to 89.91 would be the first pivot. And even if you do short and just sit through it, don't have stops for some weird, strange reason, I do think we end up pushing this one a little bit lower as well. Even down here, we have a lot of spots not even retested or anything like that. So I would look weak. But yeah, going for that gap fill would make sense. It is a retest gap, so we'll see if we can get there. The Rock, surprisingly good actor. He plays the same person in every movie, Jack. He's the same. They just make movies that The Rock would fit in, and then therefore he looks good in every movie he's got. Let's see. Matt R says LHX. I don't even see a pre-market on this thing. Is that because it's doing something crazy? Let me see this. LHX. Yeah, pre-market, it's kind of flat. You have a lot of consolidation right in the zone. We've rejected that once or twice already. Unless this thing, I would say if this thing starts breaking down, we have some VPOCs. Right now, we're kind of sitting at that 10. I don't think we have edge either way on this one. Yeah, I would have to wait and see. I don't see edge one way or the other on this. That right there is the best spot. 251, 54 is some kind of a short. You're kind of in low volume, no real institutional interest zone. Right there, I would probably say to the downside would be your best bet on it, but I don't see any real edge. So does Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, same thing. Zillow got house. Is that a Z? The Zillow group. Let's see, where's Zillow pre-market? Always get word. Oh yeah, this thing is down to $33. What do they have? The Zillow's estimator or something like that, which they came out and said, yeah, it doesn't even make sense. Yeah, these things are just getting absolutely murdered. There's your pre-market line. This looks all types of weak. It is a retest gap. I don't know that we have any. I mean, I don't even know how far back I got to go to hit some of these levels on this thing. Be careful this one. Short's the direction, but that's a big gap down. That one might fade a little bit first, and then overall trend is weak. That's not good. Just think bearish, but either you're playing that fade at open to go bullish, or longer term at least. That's a huge gap down. Nobody's making money on Zillow. They had this estimate. Christian wants to look at Amazon. AMZN. We got 4 more minutes. That's crazy. I'm trying to find like some levels on these things. There's just everything is just so incredibly low. Amazon's still looking weak. Bounce spot would be somewhere. If this thing ever comes up, I would say this is probably about 2440-ish would be a spot. 2439. That's going to be a spot where I'd be interested in shorting this thing back. This is probably I do think this gap fills at some point in the history and career of Amazon, just not today. I wouldn't be jumping in on Amazon yet. I think they still got some more downside to them. Keep in mind too, inflation. Like, even though Amazon is just massive, ginormous company, Amazon's definitely going to feel some inflation risk to it, just because obviously if you're paying more for gas, you're paying more for electric, you're paying more for food, you're paying more, like you have a less money to go on and buy the random stuff on Amazon that you are probably so accustomed to, right? So they will feel some of that negativity, obviously, for inflation, and I think they're definitely prone to it, especially being one of the biggest retailers out there. We'll have to see what happens, but that's again, pretty bearish open for Amazon. This one could just sink. Not to mention how many bills they lost. Yeah, and then we don't have to get into Rivian. We don't have to do Rivian, but the car that spins in circles apparently only made people dizzy, I guess. Watch out for Starbucks. Again, good earnings. You do have this gap fill. That would be my target on this one. $74 and roughly 17 cents. Somewhere down in that zone. We'd want to break down this previous VPOC that we're sitting at now, 77.25. But yeah, this is where we came out on earnings. The next day, we're already below that. Starbucks looks weak. I would definitely be bearish Starbucks. MU. Yep, MU looks weak. See if we get a bounce to short around $70.92. And then first target, which is where we bounced last time, that's going to be about 70.44. Anything below that will give you a little extra, 69.29, and then ultimately I think 68.84. But I wouldn't be surprised if 66.50 does not hit. I don't think today. Doesn't usually throw in those big of massive days, I don't think, but it very well could be. Looks like a nice middle finger pattern. But we only have 15 seconds left in the market. You guys on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the thumbs up, whatever kind of thing that shows some love on YouTube. That just helps my ego, number one, and then the algo, number two. So, Delta's already crossing. I got to let you guys go watch Delta. We might be making a play on that one. We will see. All you guys on YouTube land.